All right, welcome to this week's Start Smart Real Estate Reimagined. Hope you're having a fantastic week. Today, we wanted to talk about reel creation. So I know a few of you out there probably already do reels. I was never into reels. I did a lot of posts on social media. I dabbled with stories for a while, and then I went to a conference recently, and they really talked about the power of doing reels. And so I want to talk about reel creation today and where I'm at, what I'm doing, what's working for me, just to leave you with a bit of inspiration, motivation to go out there and do some yourself, because they do seem to work. Now, the one particular person that I remember speaking at this conference was Gogo, and she unbelievably does 26 reels a day. So I don't know how you get the time for that, but she's got a bigger team supporting her. So I'm assuming that's how she gets it done. But even if you start to create, you know, 1 to 5 reels a week and then just increase that as you get more confidence with reel creation, I think that's the best step. So potentially, creating then 1 to 2 reels a day. What I think most people struggle with, and certainly myself, is number one, wanting to be perfect before you actually start anything. And I think that stops a lot of us from actually just picking up the phone, putting it on video and recording a quick reel. Um, but you don't need to be perfect. I've certainly felt along my journey, and I've created a heck of a lot of video content for my podcast, the Hidden Why podcast, but also for my real estate business as well. And one thing I used to do was set up a camera, get some lights on me, and kind of rehearse before I actually press the record button. But it didn't get as much traction. Sure, people listened to it, and definitely my followers seemed to like it and resonate with the messages I was doing. And this was for sort of more my podcast at the time. But it became a bit monotonous for me to do that every day. I actually got bored with the process, and it didn't feel real or authentic. And then in relation to my real estate videos, I found when I was using, because I used some AI and some tech to help record my real estate videos, and I was doing that the same way as well. I'd put it into a caption creator or whatever you call that platform, teleprompter, and I'd sit there with the lights and the camera on and press play, and I'd read through the teleprompts. Again, felt less authentic. And some of my clients, past clients, actually gave me that feedback and said, I really love your videos when you just do it, sort of ad lib or impromptu sort of style rather than rehearsed. So it seems to connect with people better. And the idea of creating reels is for your real estate business is to build brand recognition, build visibility, generate leads, and also build trust. So that's the things we're trying to aim to do, right? And how do you build trust with anyone? Because if someone seems phony or too rehearsed, too polished, but generally we switch off. And the reels that seem to get the most traction, in my opinion, are the reels that are just kind of rough and raw and authentic, right? And you can probably relate. I don't know if you get on social media yourself and scroll through the reels that are a bit more authentic and a bit more just loose, if I can use that word, seem to get my attention more than, well rehearsed, polished reels. But there is a bit of a process to the reels. And again, I'm still fine tuning my process as well. But I'll run you through a couple of things that you can do today to help create your real ideas. The first one is think about how you want to be perceived in the marketplace. As a real estate agent, I guess you want to build trust, but you also want to put out your branding there as well. So that's how you dress and how you show up to the camera as well. For me, when I started real estate, and I've mentioned this story before, I put on the suit and the tie, and that was my thought of what a real estate agent was. It wasn't until later in my career where I started to go, you know what? I don't feel comfortable in that gear. And a lot of people didn't seem to resonate with me in that as well because I wasn't really comfortable. So I think, first of all, don't go upstairs and do your hair and put on the nice suit and makeup or whatever you need to do, if that's not what you normally do, because people want to see you. And when finally you walk through their door to do that appraisal, that's who they want to see, that person that they've been seeing in the camera. So if there's a discrepancy there, you could lose trust very quickly, right? So when you're doing your reels, make sure it is you, make sure you're showing up as you would normally show up. Don't try and polish it into something that you're not. And then finally, value. So what is your intent of the video that you're recording? Are you providing some information? Are you providing a bit of a case study about a recent sale, maybe a listing? There's plenty of content you can create for Reels, but just think about the intent there. What is your hope or desire for putting this out there? It might just be simply because you want to be seen, you want visibility, and you want people to see that you're an active real estate agent. So the process for creating a reel, and this is really creating any social posts. Number one, you want a hook. And this is something that I struggle with, but a hook is very important and it has to really be a hook within the first 3 seconds. Because if you don't hook someone in that first, 3 to 5 seconds, you'll probably lose them and they'll continue to scroll to the next video. So you want to create a hook, and how to do that is by asking a question or making a bold statement that's going to get their attention. You go, oh, I want to listen to this. So that might be, did you know the most affordable place on the Sunshine Coast is? That might trigger some attention to people that are looking to buy and are price conscious. They want affordability. So just think about that hook and how you can create that. Again, I don't always do it well, but I think if you can create that interest at the start, you're more likely to have them staying tuned in for the rest of your reel. Second one is value. So what is it? Again, what is it that you're offering them? Is it some market insights? Is it a property tip, some information for a seller, information for a buyer that might help them on their property journey? So think about the value that you're offering. And again, you don't have to be long-winded. You can be short. And it could just be one simple tip, like, putting some bread in the oven before your open home. That could be a reel. Um, and then you want to, with the videoing as well, and this is something that I don't do typically well. People are very creative in this space. You want to create some visual movement and stuff in the video as well. I think stagnant and just sitting still can sometimes be a bit boring. So when you're moving around, people seem to engage with that higher. And I've actually seen some of my most popular reels, and when I say most popular, the amount of people that are actually looking at them seem to be the ones where I'm, walking through the airport recording a quick video or in action doing something. People seem to tune into that more than the ones of me sitting here in front of my computer recording a quick reel. So think about that when you're videoing it as well. And that brings up a good point again about being ready. Like often we have, for me anyway, I have a thought about doing something and I'm out and about and I say, oh, I'll go back to the office and do it. And when I get back to the office, the thought's sort of gone. My motivation has sort of depleted a bit and I then don't do the reel at all. Or I come back and it's totally different. So when you have a thought about, oh, I should mention that on a reel, pick up your phone straight away, press record and just record your thoughts. People want real time you. They don't want something that's, recorded later, that's taken off track. And it'll show up better too if you do it in real time. And I think that's what GoGo does. She records. You can check her out on Instagram. She'll record her just, and I'm sure she preps a little bit because she's a gorgeous lady, but she'll record some videos of her, in her office or in the kitchen or whatever. And she'll be talking about something in particular that's related to real estate agents or to real estate in general. Um, Go out there and actually watch some of these influencers and see what reels they're creating. Some get very creative, but I don't. I just think the best thing you can do is just to start recording videos and posting them as a reel. Call to action. So once you've got the hook, you've given some value. Always try and finish with some sort of call to action. Hey, look, if you're looking to buy a property, reach out. I'd love to speak to you. PM us below. So just something to finish with that tells people to do something. Now, you're not going to get everyone to do it, but eventually, when you start to build trust in the audience, people will start to go, oh, yeah, I might PM this or I might comment, comment below or visit this link. I did one this morning, which I think I've shared already, because I just wrote a blog article. And the blog article was how to buy in a tight market, because at the moment we're experiencing a shortage of properties. So I just jumped on the camera here because I've already got the blog article on my website. And I said, I know I feel your pain right now, buyers. I know there's a shortage of properties right now, and it can be very difficult to buy a property, yada, yada, yada. I went on for a little bit. The reel went for about, I think, 38 seconds. And then I said, hey, by the way, check out my article that I wrote. It's here, it's for you, how to buy in a tight market. And I put the link in there to my website. So again, hopefully people will go to my website and read that article. So always have a call to action. And then polish. I go against everything I said here, but you can polish things, right? And you can make it better with background music, captions. You can make the videos through different programs, bump or shake or something like that. that can then help with that engagement because people like fast things, they like music, they like to be entertained. So you can use certain tools to help us do that. And one that I've got on my phone right here, which is a great tool, um, it creates captions automatically. So it's called CapCut. If you haven't had a look at that yet, there is a free version which you can get, or you can get the paid version, like anything these days. But you can go into CapCut and I can then just select the video from my phone that I just recorded and I can press captions and I can press the style of captions and then it'll just produce the video for me with captions based on my language. Or you could go in there if you had a different sort of a video. It might just be a video of you walking down the street, looking at houses whilst you're door knocking. So you could post that video. It could be a 30-second video of you walking around the neighborhood. Post that video, say the beautiful palm woods, working hard today, door knocking, put some background tracks to it, maybe a bit of AC/DC or something like that, post it, bam. And then you can just create a caption on the post as well. The best thing to use for this is ChatGPT, which I've talked about previously. But once you've created your reel, I jump into ChatGPT on my phone and I say, hey, I just created a reel talking about my latest blog article, how to buy in a tight market. Can you create a short copy so I can share this reel? And then it'll spit out something. I'll fine tune it, copy and paste with the reel. The reel's got captions, and then that's posted. Literally takes no more than 5 minutes, and you've got a reel going out there. Now, this is where I struggle with. I'm pretty good with creating content, but I still struggle with going, geez, that's a good idea. I should record that. And then I don't. And then I forget about it, right? So when you're in the moment, you're feeling that inspiration or that thought of wisdom that you might have, that's what people want to see. People want to see you. They want to see what you're doing, what you're all about. And look, some people will think you're a dick, whatever. Some people won't. Like, you're not going to like everyone, right? But the people that actually like your reels, they'll start to follow you and they'll start to engage more with you. And that's when you start to build up an audience and you get more leads and conversion through social media. And believe me, it sounds so silly, but putting stuff on social media and videos definitely does work. I just had a call from a lady who wants an appraisal. And I said, have we met before? Your name looks really familiar. And she goes, no, I don't think so, but I feel like I've met you because I see you everywhere. So that's the power of, putting yourself out there and putting content out there. When people say they feel like they've already met you and you've actually never met them because they just see your videos all the time on socials. So that's really it from me. I think I've talked a bit about the tools you can use. So CapCut's a good one on your phone and ChatGPT on your phone as well. So two very simple, very available tools that you can create reels with as well. I'll just quickly go into CapCut. A couple of the reels I've been doing recently is just walking around a property that I've just listed or just sold, taking 10 to 20 photos, the best photos I can take on my phone. And again, I swear to God, I think phones do a better job sometimes than photographers these days. So take some photos, use CapCut. You can jump in there, you can press a template, and you can choose the amount of photos for the template. And it's already got background tracks. It'll cut up the photos and move them around and do everything for you. And then you can write in some text there as well if you want, about the property address or whatever it might be. And you can create really good reels that way as well. And I've done a few of them that have got a lot of eyeballs on them. People seem to watch them and they're fast paced. The pictures go quick, but people seem to go, ooh, and get intrigued and they stay watching them. So CapCut's a really good tool for that. If you're in trouble with some ideas and don't know what to talk about, guess what? You got your personal assistant there in your pocket, ChatGPT. Jump in there and just say, hey, I want to record 5 reels this week. What are a few ideas that I could record about as a real estate agent, based on what you know about me, that I could share out onto social media this week? And it'll come up with some ideas, and then it's just a matter of getting into a space and recording them. So that is it from me for Start Smart Real Estate Reimagined. For those of you online with me today, stay online because we will continue our conversation for another 5-10 minutes. Would love your thoughts on this conversation as well. And for everyone else listening, this will be available on YouTube and soon enough, hopefully it'll be up there as a podcast as well. Have a great day ahead and we'll talk to you next week.